Hi, this is Robin, and before I start my tutorial, I want to show you what I've done. I have used a lot of Wet n Wild Clear, and I've mixed a little bit of orange and green together and made a really thin brown polish. It is translucent and like that. So I wanted to get that ready and begin my antique design. When it's on the paper towel, it's about this color. It's just a stain. So if you're trying to make a stain, that's how you do it. It's mostly clear, adding with red, with either red and green or orange and blue. Okay, so now I'm back, and I have a black Sharpie that is a fine-tipped pen. I have done this before, but every time I do it, I teach more girls and artists. And so I try and do it every once in a while. And this is perfect for a technique to give an illusion of something and to create something romantic. And because Valentine's Day is coming, this is perfect. So what I do is I just make little tiny dots and dashes and kind of move along the nail in certain ways. And when it's all together, it looks like handwriting on a nail. Now, if you let the nail polish dry all the way, then you can write whatever you want to, but I find that when you keep it abstract, then it looks better. If you write too much, then it begins to look like a stamp, and or it begins to like take on its own form, and you get your letters all. You're gonna find that every time that your letter isn't perfect, you're gonna try to fix it, and blah 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 blah, and that just never works. You just end up with a big old mess. And when you're on a time budget limit, whatever, and you have a bunch of clients, that is just never going to work for you. See how I did all 5 so quickly? That's how I'm going to do it. Leave it and move to the next one. This is a black Sharpie on top of 2 coats of that polish that I created, and that's what it looks like. All right. So I have my liner, my striping brush here, and my liner brush here, and I work back and forth like this. But for the liner brush, for the striping brush, which is called the unicorn. The unicorn has a long horn on it, like a unicorn. That's how I remember. So the unicorn, I'm going to push and pull up, push and pull across. I want the lines to go across the nails in a fluid pattern that is like a romantic sweeping motion. That once you get that sweeping motion, it's so easy to like mark where you want your designs. Okay, now I've got brown, gold, green, red, rose, and white. The green and red is just exactly like the polish, and I wanted to show you that in up close. So do you see how that polish turns the green into a olive? Now if you add more red, it goes into a brown. Go and mix the green and red and make a olive green. Then I'm going to add some really beautiful light gold, swirl it together like this. Then I'm going to pull my liner brush through. The liner brush is shorter, and I use it for all of my detail work for every tutorial. It is called the wand. It is essential. If you follow my tutorials on a regular basis, it is what I use always. I can't say that about mostly any other product. Okay, so with my liner, I'm going to push, push, pull, push, pull, and do you see how it leaves the lines into the leaves that I'm painting? It pushes them in because I've mixed the paint. So when I mix the paint, it's mixing on the nail because I didn't overmix. I just kind of swirled it together. So you're going to have places where it is more green and places where it is more gold. It does not have to show up perfectly. It has to leave a ghostly impression of leaves. All right, so now I've taken the white and the rose color, and I've made this beautiful yumminess. Now, you can do roses, or you can do white iris type of flowing flowers. I'm going to do the flowing flowers because I feel they look more fluid, but roses work great. And if you search Robin Moses roses on YouTube, you will find tons of different tutorials on how to make them very easily with just, you know, almost free materials. So if you can do it. Okay, so I'm going in and taking the center of the flower and pushing my petals outward with a really light rose color. The light rose color is complementary to the background colors that are, you know, tans and browns. This one, this one, this one, this, and this. Okay, so I'm going to see little gaps when I do. So, okay, so I'm already seeing that there is a gap here, okay? So I would go back in with my Sharpie before I top coat and then just mark up and make it look like the letter is there. That way I don't have big open gaps of non-letter like backgrounds. When I finish all of them, I will meet you back. All right, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of white, very thin down, using just plain water. And you guys, if you guys see any comments that say what kind of paints do you use, can you please pass that on? Like oh my goodness, I've answered that question so many times now that my fingers just start typing it by accident. So there's this. Like, hi Robin, how you doing? Acrylic paint from the craft store, like Michael's. Robin, what time is it? Acrylic paint at the craft store from Michael's. I was wondering, like, what kind of, like, if I would have what it takes, right? About answering the question so many times, especially the first year. The first year I did this, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have the patience to do that. Now it's just, like, so funny to me because it's just so...
She doesn't even think about it.
Nonchalant.
She just does it.
Yep. And then ironically, as soon as the camera goes, I forget to say it, or I say it wrong, or someone doesn't watch it and just asks without watching. But if you guys help, maybe they'll watch. And if maybe they watch, maybe they'll have a career in this and maybe they'll love it. So you never know whose life you'll make funner. That's why I keep answering. That is the honest truth from my heart. Is that you just never
go through an answer.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I had to say it because you laugh at me. Because I really am crazy. You have to be crazy to answer a question so many times. You know. I remember I said personally thank you 30,000 times to people that joined my channel when they first channel 30,000, and then I had to think about what I was doing. I was like, gosh, when do I stop? Like it's hard to cut that off. It's like I got too busy to say thank you, and I guess that's when you know. So okay, that is me using this right here, this light rose. Now I'm going to go into the darker rose right here. Again, I have to thin it down. You have to thin your paint down at least twice while you're working too. So here's this. And if you're living in the desert, even more. It's about right here. This I would consider the dark one. And I would just go into the center. This. Making them rose colored. Now the rose is just a tiny bit redder than the back color, and then it just turns into this very soft romantic floral that goes with every single thing, everything, black, white, red, green, everything. Meet you back. Okay, so I'm going to change the light sources on this and show you, but these are French manicure-esque with the illusion of a love note and the most like light and airy floral ever. Now, I'm going to turn down the light a little bit so you can see that you're looking through the flowers into the nail. Now, these are shiny. And I said, Evil client, do you think that these would be good shiny or matte? And she says, I don't know. I think matte, after you said it. And I said, okay. She goes, well, why don't you just do one? And I'm like, you have to go in or you have to go out. There's no jumping halfway into this pool. So here it is shiny, and I'm gonna matte it, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, so here it is with the matte polish, and I have to say that it was an upgrade. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so anyways, I have done this design probably 3 or 4 times. If you search Robin Moses Antique Flowers on YouTube, you'll see the other versions, or if you just look through my flowers playlist, but there's like 125 of them now, so it's hard to see them all. Anyway, this will be in the flowers playlist, and I hope that you guys like them. These are very fun to do, and they are hard to fine tune all of the colors, but don't be afraid to have fun with it. You can add a little bit of violet to that rose color in the center, and that will pop them. And you can use darker green for the leaves. You can do so many different things with these. But anyways, I hope you learned a lot. Please share this video. Please spread the word with girls who want to learn, and boys, and get them into school or get them into a career of doing art, because it is so much fun to do. And I share all of this with you guys because I love what I do, and I've done it for 28 years, and I am serious about what I do. And sometimes I think that I am in a circus on YouTube, and there's all these bells and whistles and stuff, and I can only be responsible for myself. And so here is what I do, and I hope you guys like it, and spread the word, and I will see you back with more.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, and if it's almost Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. Bye.